Bringing up Bates fans shocked by Josie Bates' confession. In the world of reality television, few families have cultivated a reputation for wholesomeness, unity, and deep-rooted faith, quite like the Bates clan. The Bringing Up Bates series, which aired on UPtv from 2015 to 2021, captured the day-to-day lives of Gil and Kelly Jo Bates and their 19 children. Much like their close friends, the Duggar family of 19 kids and counting, the Bateses gained recognition for their Christian values, traditional lifestyle, and family-first principles. But recently, a surprising confession by one of the Bates daughters, Josie Bates Balka, sent shockwaves through the show's loyal fanbase. In a moment of unexpected vulnerability and candor, Josie opened up about a personal truth that has left many viewers both stunned and deeply reflective. Her admission, shared publicly through social media and later picked up by family-focused media outlets, struck a chord and, for some, a nerve. So what exactly did Josie Bates say that was so shocking? And why has her statement resonated so deeply within and beyond the fan base? For those who followed Bringing Up Bates, Josie often appeared as one of the more reserved siblings. Born August 4, 1999, Josie is the 10th child of Gil and Kelly Jo. Though she never sought the spotlight in the same way some of her older siblings did, she gradually became a fan favorite for her calm demeanor, grounded personality, and sense of style. Over the course of the series, viewers saw Josie pursue her career as a hairstylist, develop a romantic relationship with Kelton Balka, and ultimately marry him in 2018. The couple now shares two daughters, Willow and Hazel, and has carved out a more independent life, living outside the immediate circle of the Bates family compound. Though Josie remained aligned with her family's values, many fans began to notice subtle signs that she was forging her own path. Her fashion choices, business ventures, and even the tone of her online presence suggested that she was navigating a more modern, perhaps less conservative, route than what was expected in her upbringing. Still, none of that prepared fans for what came next. In a recent Instagram Q&A, Josie responded candidly to a follower's question about her current relationship with the religious traditions of her childhood. The question, simple and straightforward, asked, "Do you still follow the same beliefs you were raised with?" In a heartfelt and introspective message, she admitted that she no longer adhered to some of the more rigid doctrines of her upbringing. While she emphasized that she still has faith in God and values the moral foundation instilled in her as a child, Josie confessed that she has spent the past few years reevaluating certain teachings, especially those related to modesty, gender roles, and personal autonomy. "I'm incredibly thankful for how I was raised," Josie wrote, "but I've also realized that not everything I was taught aligns with my personal convictions anymore. I still believe in God. I still pray. But I've grown and changed, and I think that's okay." That single statement, "I think that's okay," echoed across the internet, both affirming and challenging fans who have long seen the Bates children as extensions of a particular way of life. The reaction from fans was immediate and intense. Some applauded Josie's honesty and maturity, praising her for setting a powerful example of personal growth and authenticity. For them, her confession was a moment of refreshing honesty in a culture that often prioritizes appearances over truth. "Good for her for speaking her truth," one fan wrote. "She's still a believer, just navigating her own relationship with faith. That's real." Others, however, felt disappointed or even betrayed. For many fans who looked up to the Bateses as moral exemplars, Josie's admission represented a crack in the seemingly impenetrable armor of the family's values. "This is sad to see," a commenter noted. "I loved the Bates because they were different from the world. I hope she finds her way back to the truth." Some took a more neutral stance, expressing curiosity rather than judgment. Questions began to circulate: what, specifically, had changed for Josie? Was this a quiet rebellion against her upbringing, or a natural evolution into adult identity? Were other Bates siblings on similar paths, but staying quiet? Among the topics Josie indirectly addressed, modesty stood out. In the world of the Bates family, modest dress has long been a visible symbol of their faith and values. Skirts instead of pants, covered shoulders, and minimal makeup were often portrayed as a way of honoring God through appearance. But over the past year or two, Josie, along with several of her sisters, has been seen wearing outfits that would once have been considered inappropriate by her family's standards. Tank tops, jeans, and more contemporary fashion have become common in her social media posts. Her confession now adds context to those changes. It's not just about fashion, it's about autonomy and evolving belief systems. Josie is no longer just dressing differently, she's thinking differently. And that, for many fans, is more unsettling than any outfit she could wear. Josie's confession does not exist in a vacuum. Over the last few years, several members of the Bates family have quietly shifted away from the strict ideologies that once defined their collective identity. Some have left the church their parents helped build, while others have embraced more mainstream lifestyles. Carlin Bates Stewart and Lexi Bates Webster, for example, have also been candid about the ways their adult lives differ from their upbringing. Whether it's in how they parent, how they dress, or the content they choose to post online, there's a visible transformation occurring within the next generation of Bates children. It seems the values that once bound the family together are now being reinterpreted, or in some cases, set aside entirely. And while this evolution may feel jarring to longtime fans, it also reflects a broader truth: people grow and families change. Another factor in this unfolding narrative is the role of social media. In the era of Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, reality TV stars no longer need to rely on edited cable programming to tell their stories. They can speak directly to their audience, and they are. Josie's confession would not have been possible in the same way a decade ago. It would likely have been filtered, softened, or omitted entirely to preserve the family's brand. But today, she has a platform of her own, and she used it to speak honestly. For younger fans in particular, this kind of authenticity is not just acceptable, it's expected. Perhaps the most important conversation sparked by Josie's statement is the distinction between faith and fundamentalism. Her confession, subtle though it may seem, challenges the notion that questioning inherited beliefs is inherently wrong. Instead, she suggests that growth can coexist with gratitude, that it's possible to honor one's roots while still charting a different path forward. This kind of nuance is often lost in discussions about religious families in the public eye. They're either celebrated as paragons of virtue or dismissed as relics of the past. Josie, in her quiet but powerful way, offers a third option: transformation without total rejection. As the dust begins to settle around Josie's statement, fans are left to wrestle with their own feelings. Some may turn away from the family, believing that the Bateses are no longer what they once were. Others may feel a deeper connection, seeing their own questions and struggles reflected in the lives of people they once viewed as infallible. In the end, Josie's confession is not about scandal. It's about honesty, identity, and the often messy process of growing up in the spotlight. It's about a woman who, raised in a world of rules and expectations, found the courage to say, "This is who I am now." And for many, that simple truth is more powerful and perhaps even more inspiring than the flawless image of perfect faith that once defined the show. Bringing up Bates fans concerned about Lexi Webster, why? The reality TV show Bringing Up Bates, which follows the large and devout Christian Bates family from Tennessee, has been a source of fascination for viewers since its debut in 2012. The series, a spin-off of United Bates of America, focuses on Dill and Kelly Jo Bates and their 15 children as they navigate life, faith, relationships, and personal growth under the spotlight. Over the years, the show has provided an intimate look into the lives of each child, offering fans a chance to connect with them individually. One of the most beloved figures among the younger generation of the Bates clan is Lexi Webster, the daughter of Tori and Bobby Webster. Lexi, who was born in 2013, has grown up in front of cameras and has become a fan favorite due to her bubbly personality, strong faith, and close relationship with her extended family. However, in recent seasons, some fans have expressed concern about Lexi's well-being, particularly regarding her emotional development, maturity level, and how she is portrayed on screen. This growing concern stems from several factors: the way Lexi is sometimes handled by adults on the show, the pressures of being raised in a highly publicized environment, and the potential impact of media exposure on her psychological health. While Bringing Up Bates presents itself as a wholesome, faith-based program that emphasizes family values, critics and fans alike are beginning to question whether the show's portrayal of Lexi and other children might be crossing ethical boundaries. From a young age, Lexi has been featured prominently in Bringing Up Bates. As the first grandchild of Gil and Kelly Jo, she holds a special place within the family dynamic. Her early appearances were charming and innocent, showcasing typical toddler behavior. However, as she has grown older, Lexi has been placed in more structured and scripted situations that seem designed for entertainment value rather than organic family moments. Fans have noticed that Lexi often appears in segments where she is asked to perform or react to adult conversations far beyond her developmental stage. Whether it's being included in discussions about dating, relationships, or even sibling drama, Lexi is frequently thrust into scenarios that may not be age-appropriate. This raises concerns about how much autonomy she has in these situations, and whether she fully understands the implications of being filmed. Additionally, Lexi is sometimes used as a comedic character on the show, with producers highlighting her quirks or misunderstandings for laughs. While this can be endearing at times, it also risks infantilizing her or portraying her in a light that could be potentially embarrassing or damaging as she grows older. Viewers who have followed Lexi's journey are starting to wonder if the show is prioritizing ratings over the emotional well-being of a minor. Tori and Bobby Webster have always been open about their parenting philosophy, which is rooted in Christian values, obedience, and modesty. Their approach to raising Lexi reflects these principles, including strict dress codes, limited screen time, and homeschooling. While many fans admire the couple for maintaining a traditional lifestyle, others worry that Lexi may not have enough freedom to explore her individuality or express herself outside of the family's expectations. Some critics argue that Lexi's personality seems somewhat stifled by the rules imposed upon her. For example, she is often dressed in old-fashioned clothing and discouraged from engaging in behaviors that might be considered mainstream for her age group. While these choices are made with good intentions, they may unintentionally isolate Lexi from peers outside the show or create pressure to conform to an image that isn't entirely her own. Moreover, because the Websters are constantly in the public eye, every parenting decision they make is scrutinized. This can lead to a performative aspect of their parenting, where decisions are influenced not only by what is best for Lexi, but also by how it will be perceived by the audience. Some fans fear that this dynamic could affect Lexi's sense of self-worth or cause her to associate love and approval with external validation. One of the most pressing concerns surrounding Lexi is the long-term impact of being raised in a reality TV environment. Studies have shown that children who grow up in the public eye are at higher risk for anxiety, depression, identity issues, and difficulties adjusting to normal social settings. Although Bringing Up Bates is generally lighthearted and family-friendly, the constant filming and editing process can distort reality and place undue stress on developing minds. Lexi, now around 11 years old, has spent her entire life under the lens of cameras. She has no memory of a life without production crews, interviews, or scheduled family interactions. While the Bates family has taken steps to protect their children's privacy, such as limiting social media use and avoiding controversial topics, it remains unclear how much say Lexi has had in her participation on the show. Reality television often blurs the line between authenticity and manipulation. Scenes can be edited to exaggerate conflicts or portray individuals in a certain light. For a child like Lexi, who lacks the critical thinking skills to fully understand the editing process, this can be confusing or even harmful. If she sees herself depicted in a way that doesn't align with her self-image, it could lead to internal conflict or feelings of inadequacy. As fans, we must also examine our role in perpetuating the scrutiny of Lexi's life. Our curiosity and affection for her come with a responsibility to consider her welfare. Watching Lexi grow up on screen can feel like watching a beloved niece or neighbor, but it's important to remember that she is not just a character in a show, she is a real person with real emotions. There are broader ethical questions about the rights of minors in reality television. Should children be allowed to consent to being filmed once they reach a certain age? What safeguards are in place to ensure their mental health and well-being? While Bringing Up Bates is not the only show to feature children in such roles, it does raise important conversations about the responsibilities of producers, parents, and audiences alike. Many fans have begun calling for more transparency from the show's producers regarding how children are treated behind the scenes. They want reassurances that Lexi and other young cast members are not being exploited or manipulated for content. Others have suggested that the show should take a step back from featuring minors so heavily, allowing them space to develop away from the camera's gaze. Despite the concerns, it's also worth acknowledging Lexi's strength and resilience. She has consistently displayed a joyful spirit, intelligence, and a deep sense of empathy. Many fans admire her faith, kindness, and ability to remain grounded despite the unique circumstances of her upbringing. In interviews, both Tori and Bobby have emphasized their commitment to protecting Lexi and giving her a balanced childhood. Lexi has also formed strong bonds with her cousins and extended family, which provides her with a built-in support system. The tight-knit nature of the Bates family offers a level of stability that can buffer against some of the negative effects of fame. Moreover, Lexi's faith plays a central role in her life, giving her a framework through which to interpret the world and find comfort during difficult times. However, even the most resilient children need space to make mistakes, struggle, and grow without judgment. The concern from fans is not necessarily about Lexi's current state, but about the trajectory of her life moving forward. Will she feel empowered to make her own choices when she becomes a teenager? Will she resent being filmed if she decides later in life that she wants privacy? For Bringing Up Bates to continue responsibly, there needs to be a conscious effort to prioritize the well-being of its youngest stars. This includes implementing stricter guidelines around filming minors, providing access to professional counseling, and ensuring that children have a voice in decisions that affect their representation on the show. Producers and parents should work together to strike a balance between showcasing family life and respecting individual boundaries. Perhaps future seasons could focus less on scripted interactions involving children and more on the overarching themes of faith, community, and perseverance that have defined the show. In conclusion, the concerns surrounding Lexi Webster stem from a place of genuine care and concern. Fans have watched her grow up and want to see her thrive not just as a lovable character on a reality show, but as a healthy, happy, and independent young woman. While Bringing Up Bates continues to provide heartwarming moments and valuable life lessons, it must also evolve to meet the ethical challenges of raising children in the spotlight. Ultimately, the legacy of the show should not only be one of entertainment, but also of protection, respect, and compassion for the next generation. Lexi deserves a childhood that is cherished, not exploited, a goal that requires the collective effort of her family, the production team, and the very fans who adore her. Carlin Bates shares baby Zaid had some breathing issues. Carlin Bates, the beloved social media personality and influencer, recently opened up about a concerning health scare involving her newborn son, baby Zaid. In an emotional and heartfelt post shared across her platforms, Carlin revealed that her baby boy experienced some breathing difficulties shortly after birth. The news came as a surprise to many of her followers, who have been following her journey through pregnancy, motherhood, and family life. Bates, known for her authenticity and candidness online, took to Instagram and TikTok to share the details with her fans. She explained that while Zaid was born healthy and full-term, he faced some unexpected complications related to his breathing in the early days after birth. Carlin described the experience as both terrifying and overwhelming, but also emphasized how grateful she is for the medical professionals who helped care for her son. The post quickly went viral, sparking conversations around infant health, neonatal care, and the importance of awareness when it comes to newborn complications. Many parents reached out to Carlin in the comments, sharing their own stories and offering support. Her transparency struck a chord with fans, especially those who have gone through similar experiences with their children. In the video, Carlin spoke with tears in her eyes as she recounted the moments after Zaid's birth. She said everything seemed fine at first. Zaid cried right away, had a strong heartbeat, and appeared alert and healthy. However, within hours, the medical team noticed something unusual. He began showing signs of respiratory distress, including rapid breathing, grunting, and flaring of the nostrils. The doctors decided to run tests and monitor him closely. It was then that they diagnosed him with transient tachypnea of the newborn, a condition where fluid remains in the baby's lungs after birth, causing them to breathe faster than normal. While TTN typically resolves on its own within 24 to 72 hours, it can be alarming for parents and often requires close monitoring in a neonatal intensive care unit or special care nursery. Carlin admitted that watching her tiny baby hooked up to monitors and receiving oxygen therapy was one of the hardest things she's ever had to endure. "You imagine holding your baby, feeding them, bonding immediately," she said. "But instead, you're standing there helpless, watching them fight just to breathe." Despite the initial fear, Carlin expressed immense gratitude for the hospital staff who provided round-the-clock care for Zaid. She praised the nurses and doctors for their expertise and compassion during such a stressful time. She also thanked her husband and support system for being by her side every step of the way. Over the next few days, Zaid slowly started to improve. His breathing became more regular, his oxygen levels stabilized, and eventually, he was cleared to come home. Carlin described the moment they were finally able to take him back to their house as one of the happiest of her life. Since returning home, Zaid has continued to thrive. He's now several weeks old, gaining weight steadily, and hitting all of his developmental milestones. Carlin shared recent photos and videos of him smiling and cooing, much to the delight of her followers. While the experience was undoubtedly difficult, Carlin said it taught her a lot about resilience, trust in medical professionals, and the importance of advocating for your child's health. She encouraged other parents not to hesitate if they feel something is wrong with their baby. "Sometimes babies can't tell us what's going on, but our instincts as parents are powerful," she said. Her message resonated deeply with many parents who have felt dismissed or unheard in medical settings. By speaking out, Carlin not only raised awareness about teen, but also gave a voice to countless families who have faced similar challenges. In addition to discussing Zaid's health, Carlin also touched on the emotional toll the situation took on her mental health. She talked about feeling guilt, anxiety, and even questioning whether she could have done something differently during pregnancy. But she reminded herself and others that these situations are often beyond a parent's control. She urged her followers to prioritize self-care and seek help when needed. "It's okay to cry, to feel scared, to ask for help," she said. "Motherhood is beautiful, but it's also hard, and sometimes it throws you curveballs you never saw coming." Carlin's openness sparked an outpouring of support from fans and fellow influencers alike. Many praised her courage for sharing such a vulnerable story, noting how important it is for public figures to speak about real, unfiltered experiences. In the days following her post, Carlin received messages from parents all over the world, thanking her for sharing Zaid's story. Some mentioned that it helped them recognize symptoms in their own children, while others found comfort knowing they weren't alone in their struggles. She later posted a follow-up video, reading some of the touching messages and expressing her appreciation for the community's love and understanding. "This isn't just my story," she said. "It's so many people's stories. I'm honored to be able to share it." As for baby Zaid, he continues to grow stronger each day. Carlin shared a sweet update video showing him giggling and kicking his legs in the air, a far cry from the tense days in the hospital. She said she looks forward to watching him reach new milestones and creating joyful memories as a family. Through it all, Carlin has remained positive and grateful. She acknowledged that while the beginning wasn't easy, it made her appreciate every moment with her son even more. "He's here, he's healthy, and he's perfect," she said with a smile. Her story serves as a reminder that even seemingly healthy births can come with unexpected challenges. It also highlights the importance of neonatal care, parental intuition, and the strength of the human spirit, especially in the tiniest among us. For anyone currently going through a similar situation, Carlin offered words of encouragement. "You're not alone. Trust your gut. Lean on your support system, and know that healing takes time. Your baby is fighting, and so are you." As Carlin continues navigating motherhood, she's determined to use her platform to raise awareness and provide support to others. Whether it's sharing parenting tips, baby milestones, or honest reflections on the highs and lows of raising a child, she remains committed to being a voice for families everywhere. Baby Zaid's journey may have started with a challenge, but thanks to timely medical intervention and the unwavering love of his parents, he's well on his way to a bright and healthy future.